But anyway, we are winding down the year, and next weekend, or actually this coming Thursday, is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And what is your plan? Are you going to go spend time with your mother and your brother, or are you loaning it? Or are you hanging out with your chick, or what are you doing?
No, I'm doing early. I'm going with my mom and my brother and his family and whatnot. And then at 4:00, I'm going over to John and Stephanie's to have a drinksgiving, I guess.
A drinksgiving.
Drinksgiving.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my plans. What about you? You hitting your sisters?
Yeah, I'll be hanging with the sister and the nephew, and just some peripheral family folk, and head back home, and then take the day off on Friday.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Just enjoy Friday while everybody else is out there schlubbing around and getting those Black Friday deals.
Yeah, buying their copy of my book, of course.
Right.
Which launches on on Black Friday officially.
Yeah.
That's my Friday is gonna be spent late because I'm gonna be dealing with the book thing that day and doing some radio that day, and then that night I'm doing both Bill Peters and the Metal Command.
All right.
So I'm gonna be doing a lot of radio Friday night. So probably by Saturday I'll come on here and be like, "Hail and kill everybody, what's up?"
Nice. So, speaking of people receiving their books, my nephew ordered a book from you.
Yes.
And he was thrilled to get his very own autographed copy of Chris Aiken's latest book, Motley Crue.
Did he enjoy it?
I don't know. He just got it in the mail.
Okay.
He took a photo of the inside cover and was excited to get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. I sent a bunch of them out. The rest of the and I'll just say it here because it's easier than sending emails. But if you're one of those that did not get the pre-orders yet, you will get them. The final 30 or whatever will go out on Monday. Actually, I'm signing and finishing them up tomorrow. I literally ran out of books. I ran out of books, some 35 books short of what I had pre-ordered myself. So I had to get more books, and I just got them today. So those are going to be going out on Monday. So everybody should have their stuff by Friday, I would think.
All right.
The holiday might fuck that up a little bit, but everything will be out by Monday morning. Everything will be shipped.
Yeah.
So enjoy, people. Those of you that were so gracious enough to purchase it, I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I see Jackal in the chat room mentioned something about Black Friday purchase. He bought a 50-inch television.
Wow.
I went to Best Buy today. I haven't been in a Best Buy literally I couldn't even tell you. It's probably at least been over a year.
Okay.
And I went in there because Best Buy, they've kind of downgraded all their, it's not the Best Buy that I used to enjoy so much. Because,
it's just the average buy now.
Yeah, pretty much. And I went and looked at not that I need one, I just out of curiosity, I was just looking at their flat panels.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how cheap
they're cheap
flat panels are these days.
Yeah.
They had an LG 50-inch flat panel.
Mm-hmm.
It had, what is it? What's the new density
smart
now?
TV?
It's a smart TV.
Oh, the 4K?
Yeah, it's 4K. A 4K. What is it? 2160 or something now?
Yeah, whatever.
Instead of 1080, it's like 2160 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Smart TV, 4K, HD, the whole shebang bang, surround sound bar, the whole thing.
Sure.
LG, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
$399.
Yeah, that's about right.
$399 for a 50-inch flat panel.
Dude, it's cheap as fuck. I mean, I bought earlier this year, like February, March. I think it was in March. I bought two 55s. I bought one because me and my son were kicking ass with Music's Bottom Line, with Aiken IT.
Right.
And so I decided it was gift time. Time to get each of us like a bonus, more or less. And you know me, I don't really buy myself a lot of stuff.
Yeah, neither do I.
I just drink. That's what I do. I buy myself booze usually.
Sure.
But I was like, all right, I'm going to get myself something good, and I wanted to get a nice big TV for the bedroom.
Right.
And I didn't have a small one. I had a 40-inch TV.
That's what I currently have in my room.
But I had to upgrade. So I bought two 55s with they were smart TVs, and they were 1080p's. They weren't 4Ks, but they were 1080p's. And the total price with the insurance, everything, was $698 out the door.
Nice.
Fucking cheap.
It is.
It's dirt cheap, and now, dude, it's funny that we constantly talk about the TV, but it seems like quite literally week by week things get better for cutting the cord and just running with your own TV. I discovered 2 more things this week with TV that are free that are actually pretty good. Have you heard of or tried Pluto TV yet?
I saw that as an app on the Roku.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not checked it out at all, but I have seen the name.
Well, I had checked it out about a year ago, and it was dog shit. I mean, it was it looked like I put it together. It just looked like a bag of shit. But they've been running ads on the Roku for the last 2 weeks or so.
Right. That's kind of probably where I've seen
it. Where you saw it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let me check it out, see if they improved it. Man, this is like a fucking cable network now.
Nice.
There's 100 channels on it. There's all kinds of sports. There's live stuff on it. For me, they have a live Impact Wrestling, which is one of the alternatives to WWE, but they have a 24/7 Impact Wrestling channel, and a bunch of channels that I don't have, like Pop and stuff like that. And I was like, and it's just mint. It just, you click it, it's on, it works, it's clean. I was like, when did they put this kind of money into this fucking program? So I tried that one out, and then the other one was what was it called? Tubi TV, Tubi.
Okay. That's
another really good one. So that's kind of more of a Netflix type of a thing than the other, but that's out there that you could for movies and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I grabbed that one a few weeks ago. I was looking for that Chris Porter.
Yeah.
And that was on Tubi, and I grabbed that app. That's the only time I've used it so far.
It's pretty good. And then Roku just released a movie channel. I don't know if you saw that, the Roku channel.
No, I have not.
The Roku channel has about 1,000 movies on it.
Nice.
And not shitty movies either. It's not The Thing versus fucking Predator or something. It's pretty decent movies. Not brand new ones, but not from the 60s either. So that's actually a pretty solid channel for nothing. And I'm watching this stuff, and I'm like, they are really trying to get to the point where you just don't need any kind of, subscription to anything to entertain yourself.
Sure.
You could literally watch this Pluto TV and Crackle and Tubi TV and probably have enough entertainment for the next 8 months without repeating anything.
Right, exactly.
It's amazing.
Now, I know, this is something that you kind of disregarded, but so I'm at home here Thursday, and the Steelers were playing the Tennessee Titans.
Was that basketball?
Yeah, basketball. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And they're broadcasting it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah. But Amazon Prime is taking a bath on that.
Well, I didn't know anything about it, but I clicked on it, and I was just like, holy shit, Amazon Prime, you're watching, live basketball.
Yeah, and it's clean. It's clear. The thing with that, the only reason I know that they're taking a bath on the NFL is because the first week there was no promotion for it. It just would come on. And now for the last 3 weeks in a row, I get an email every Wednesday saying, "Hey, don't forget the NFL this week. It's the Ravens and the whoever's playing."
Yeah.
They're advertising, which means that people are not watching it. So, but hey, I mean, dude, last year they started that actually 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they did the Thursday night games or half the Thursday night games on Yahoo,
Okay.
Yahoo TV.
All right.
And then last year it was on Twitter. They were doing games on Twitter. And you could install, last year I did the app for Twitter and watched it on that. And it's just getting to the point where if you have basic subscription to about 2 services, you're pretty much covered for just about everything that you need.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're going to sustain that. Probably not. We're probably right in that point before they fuck it all up. Because they're going to fuck it all up.
Yeah, of course. They're going to start merging or, buying somebody out just to eliminate the competition.
Yeah.
Or, the thing is, it'll get pared down.
Yeah, it will. Or every single channel is going to cost $3.
Exactly.
So, but it is cool that there's that much content that's just out there now, and it's so easy to get. And hell, I was dicking around for a little while yesterday. Roku has an app. You have to buy a piece, and I looked up the piece, and the piece is too expensive. I'll wait a year and then buy it. But you can buy a piece that doesn't even plug into your Roku. It's wireless, and it's called Clearstream TV, I think.
Okay.
And you hook a wireless antenna wherever you get the best signal in your house, and you hook this thing to it, and then your Roku will get the Wi-Fi signal and broadcast TV as well.
Oh, so you don't have to have the antenna wired to your TV or anything. It's just a wireless connection to an antenna.
Right, and what it does is it turns your Roku into a full service cable box like you're used to.
Right.
So that you don't have to change inputs to watch NBC or whatever.
Sure, I get it.
You just open that app.
Right.
So, I mean, it's getting to the point. I mean, it's really, really morphing in a big hurry. And I love it. Me as a tech dork, I love that kind of shit.
Right.
But, I just wasn't quite ready to pull $100 trigger on something that I know it's a little tiny piece. I know in 3 months it'll be $20.
Exactly.
Because it's just fresh out. So right now it's going to be more.
Right.
But if it's out there and it's an electronic gadget, it's going to cost nothing in 6 months.
Sure.
So I'll wait. I don't watch that much over-the-air TV anyway.
Yeah,
so
I don't either. I pretty much live on Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, the only time I really do is when there's sports. That's about the only time I ever go to it, when there's sports on, like the World Series. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, nah. Because even the shows that I watch that are on those channels, I watch through Hulu.
Right.
I don't watch it live. I'm not sitting around waiting for 10 o'clock to come on so I can fucking stare at Mariska Hargitay's tits on fucking SVU.
Right.
I look at her tits on my time, pal. That's how it works.
Yeah, I'll look at her when I want to.
Right. I may not be ready to jerk off at fucking 10 o'clock. I might be ready at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
And when that time comes, so do I.
And the other one that I watch and I know I've turned you on to it before, when it comes to the sports especially, is Batman Stream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That works.
Yeah. I use that. I use that, and I just Chromecast it to the TV and watch sporting events.
Look, I'm such a dork. You're going to laugh at me about this. But this week, because my house doesn't get super warm in the colder it gets, sometimes I don't like to be in my living room because my living room gets cold because it has that big fucking window. And I'm way too cheap to spend $1,200 on a new window that's more insulated.
Right.
So that room just gets cold. So I'll stay in the bedroom a lot because the bedroom that I have is pretty big.
Right.
And so I put in a desk. I bought a desk this week, and I put it in the bedroom. But then I set up another TV so that I don't have to turn around and watch TV. I literally have my little desk I moved the Mac that was in here into the bedroom.
Right.
So I'll use the Mac when I'm too cold to come out. But I also now have a 32-inch that's right next to me, that has the Chromecast on it, because I shouldn't have to turn around.
Right.
That's way too much effort.
Yeah, why inconvenience yourself like that?
That's right. I should be able to face my computer and still be looking at TV all the time.
Sure.
I'm a total dork.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest decision of the week was I have two Rokus, two Amazon Fire boxes, and one Chromecast and one Roku stick, and which is way too much for 3 TVs.
Right.
And my biggest decision of the whole week was, man, which one of these devices do I put on this side TV?
Right.
I don't want to miss anything by not having access to this box or that box. And I actually do use the different boxes for different things.
Sure.
So, it was a big decision point to go with the Chromecast, since that's probably going to be the least used TV.
Right.
I'll put the least used device on the least used TV.
Yeah. Well, I've got the Roku plugged into one HDMI port and the Chromecast into the other. So,
right.
If I have both in the bedroom, so if depending on what I'm looking for, I can hit either one.
Right. What do you got upstairs?
I just got the original Roku that I bought.
Okay, and it still works, right?
It still works.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll give Roku credit for, or all of these devices, really. None of them have obsoleted themselves, which especially with the Apple TV, I want to get one just to try it, but I know it's just the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I haven't bought one. They're just too expensive for a throwaway purchase.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're like $159 or something.
Something like that. The only advantage of having the Apple TV
mm-hmm.
is that if you use the Apple products such as the iPhone and the iPad and things, they all sync.
Right, and I do. I have an iMac, I have an iPhone, and I have an iPad.
Yeah, so the Apple TV would sync and mirror whatever it is that you have on one of those devices.
Yeah, that would be good. The thing that would be best for me is that I have I'm using Apple Music now instead of Spotify, so that would be better. But I figured out a way to hack that too. I hacked my I'm such a fucking loser dork. But I literally hacked my Amazon boxes so that I can play Apple Music from my phone through my TV.
Nice.
Just because I need to do that for whatever reason.
Sure.
Meanwhile, right next to my chair where I work in the living room, I have an iHome sitting right there that I can Bluetooth into. And right next to my desk in my bedroom, I have a Google Home. So I can literally just say, hey, Google, play fucking Dream Theater, and it'll play. But for whatever reason, I needed more.
Right.
I needed more technology.
Sure.
So I did that. I looked it up online and figured out how to hack it.
Right.
I am the worst. I am such a fucking dork when it comes to all this technology.
Yeah. Well, I have a Bose docking station that was originally, designed for the iPod. Remember iPods?
Yeah.
And because iPods are obsolete for the most part.
Sure.
And it has the old plug-in, that from the the iPhone 4 back.
Yeah, the wide one.
Yeah, exactly. So fortunately, somebody had the foresight out there to develop a Bluetooth adapter.
Okay.
And I'm able to just plug that Bluetooth adapter onto the Bose docking station.
Okay.
And I can play my Spotify from my phone through the Bose docking station.
Dude, we are in such a fucking different world. Can you imagine this stuff like 20 years ago?
Yeah, that would have been just like futuristic, man.
Dude, don't you remember 20 years ago you'd be at the fucking Radio Shack trying to find the best casing on wire for your speakers so that you would have perfect clarity of your sound.
Yeah, you had gold wires.
Yeah, and you had to buy you had to measure in your house before you put the shit because you didn't want the speakers too close to each other. Shit, dude, right over here, and how I have that one shelf that I have just a bunch of bullshit on.
Yeah.
In my office, the second shelf, I'm looking at it right now. There's a pair of Bose 601s just sitting there collecting dust.
Nice.
They're just because I don't have a stereo anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I didn't want to just throw away the speakers. I spent fucking $1,000 or whatever for them. I don't remember what they cost. Whatever 601s costed, brand new.
Right.
They were not cheap. Talk about a fight with the ex.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, you had to, you had to measure the room. Then you had to measure the satellite speakers, so you can get the perfect surround sound in the room. Mm-hmm. And now all you got to do is got to have a Bose or a sound bar or something, and it just broadcasts in surround sound.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I have the iHome. It's the size of a plate, and the fucker is as loud as any stereo I've ever had.
Right.
It's loud and it's clear, and I don't have to plug anything into it. I just go Bluetooth connect on, and it starts jamming.
There you go.
So great.
Look at us starting the show off as a tech show.
Dude, how long will it be before they just want to inject that shit in your arm? Like you'll put in the Spotify chip or something.
Yeah.
And you'll just fucking look at your arm and say, yeah, play Cavalera Conspiracy.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, let the government know exactly where I'm at.
The government knows exactly where you are anyway.
Right.
You put that phone in your pocket, then they know where you are.
That is true.
I mean, holy fuck. You know, I love that. That's like the funniest thing in the world is when I see these guys that bitch all the time about being disconnected from the man on Facebook.
Of course.
Yeah, the government can't tell where you are, you dumb shit. Oh, well, I use a VPN. Yeah, does the VPN stop the signal from going out of the fucking company's router, you dickhead?
Yeah.
You know, they know where you are. Stop it.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, it'll be over when everybody's required to have a chip to do your purchasing and your banking, because as soon as the government wants to do you in, they'll just shut your chip off and you're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got to get the guns first, because if they don't have the guns, then that trying to force people to put the chip in will be useless.
Yep.
And why wouldn't you just go cut somebody's arm off that has more money than you? Steal the chip.
You throw that arm up on the teller window. Hey, I'd like to withdraw $100,000.
I'm sure you'll be able to get just the chip.
Yeah, you just get your pocket knife out and cut the chip out.
Cut the chip out of the dead arm.
Right.
Stab somebody, take their arm, take it home, cut the chip out, take it to the fucking self checkout.
Yeah. It's just
You're in.
It's just like using somebody's credit card, though. It's like, hey, my chip was stolen.
Yeah. Can't you tell by my missing arm?
Yeah. They'll just shut that chip off and reissue you a new one.
Yeah, new arm.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah.
It is coming, though. You know it's coming.
Yeah, of course it's coming. They already got the technology.
Yeah, I'm so glad I won't be here for that.
But if it gets to that point and that's a requirement, you might as well just check out.
Yep, it's going to be... You might as well just fucking start calling whoever the president is at that time the supreme leader.
Right.
Because that's really what it's going to be. It's going to be just new age fucking North Korea.
Yep. You can no longer buy, sell, or trade.
Mm-hmm. Which means then you can't say what you want to say because you're afraid of getting your fucking money fucking shut off.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, fuck that. But you know, all these fucking dumb fuck libs. Oh, it's a great idea. Talk about a way to stay efficient.
Yeah, sure.
Shut up, dickheads.
Biggest lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, 1 hour is gone already.
Yep.
Time to take our first break of the evening. So if you are listening to us live via TuneIn or the Spreaker or whatever means you have, we do have a live chat room if you'd like to join us.
Yep.
Just go over to chatandkill.com. Just spell it out, chatandkill.com, and jump in and be a part of our chat room and see all the silliness and the porn that goes on in there.
And usually there's a lot of both.
Yeah, I saw some guy fucking a turkey earlier.
Yeah, I saw that too, sadly.
You know, what a way to welcome the Thanksgiving spirit by fucking a turkey.
Don't even want to know how that turkey ended up tasting.
Right, well, he was just injecting and basting it.
Do you think somebody ate that turkey?
I have no idea.
I'd be willing to bet someone did.
Yeah.
Just hosed it out and cooked it anyway.
Yeah, he invited a bunch of people over that he didn't really like or care about.
Took it to the homeless shelter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to just fuck that turkey.
I made you guys a turkey.
It's got some special sauce injected in it to make it tender.
Yeah, sure.
It's a tender bird.
Why is this turkey so salty?
And why is it so tender? It's salty and tender.
Tastes like a penny. Smells like bleach. What happened to this turkey?
Nice. Oh, boy. All right. Malcolm Young passed away, and it is the end of an era, unfortunately. AC/DC is stalwart in hard rock and metal music. Mm-hmm. Nobody can deny the influence that AC/DC has had.
Nope.
You know, sad to see him go. I'm glad I've gotten the opportunity to see them a few times.
Yeah, I've seen them several times, too.
You know, and it's just, regardless of if it seems like the same riff again and again and again on every song that they've had over the last 30 albums, it's just undeniable, timeless sound. So, rest in peace, Malcolm Young.
Yeah. Actually, for those of you with Amazon Prime, I spent a good amount of time watching rock documentaries this week.
Okay.
There's a really, really good one on the AC/DC. I think it's just called AC/DC or something. It's something with AC/DC in the title.
Okay.
And it looks generic and cheap, but it's really, really good. And our good friend Joe MacGyver's in it.
Oh, I actually think I saw that. I did see that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it was good. Pretty good documentary, actually.
I watched one on Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, this week.
Okay, how was that?
It was called Dark Side of the Moon, The Interviews.
Okay.
And it just basically was a compilation of interviews with all the guys in Pink Floyd at various points discussing their recollection of Dark Side of the Moon and, you know, their take on it and things like that. And it was kind of interesting. I mean, the interviews ranged from, you know, the 70s, the 80s, and into the 90s mostly.
Okay.
So
yeah, what did I watch this week? I watched one on the history of Overkill with it was like Rat Skates did it.
Okay.
The original drummer and the guy that put the band together. That was really good. Then there's another one about the new wave of British heavy metal. That was really good. It talked a lot about Iron Maiden. It was a little too Iron Maidenish for me, but it did talk a lot about all those other bands. And I actually discovered quite a few bands, or I bookmarked them. I can't say I've discovered them yet, but I bookmarked a bunch of bands whose names I did not know to go and research. And what else did I watch? I watched there was another one called I think it's called Something About the Metal.
All right.
And that was one about Finland. That was like I was telling Tom, that was one that was about Finland. And only Finland and Finland metal. And that was really good. I was surprised. I thought that would suck, but I was kind of watching it so I could have like a kinship with Jan Patrick. And what a good fucking documentary that was. It was about some band. It started out as like some band that was shooting their own writing of an album.
Okay.
But then they ended up going to all these festivals and shit and interviewing all these different bands. And it turned out to be a pretty damn good documentary. So that was another good one this week. There's a bunch of them out there on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I know. And I was going to mention that once you start watching those documentaries, more and more keep popping up as a recommendation.
Yeah.
And I have been watching quite a few of those. I've watched the most recent ones that I watched was like the Rolling Stones. And I just mentioned the Pink Floyd one. Let's see, who else did I watch? I watched one on the New York Dolls.
Okay.
The bassist of the New York Doll. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but the New York Dolls had gotten back together for a kind of a reunion show.
Right.
And this guy, he kind of fell on hard times, and he was working in LA. Yeah, he was working like in some office or something like that, and he got to rejoin David Johansen and those guys, and they did a show or two over in Europe.
Right.
And then like within a year the guy died.
Oh jeez. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you've watched these metal ones, that guy Malcolm Dome, the English guy, English writer.
Yeah.
That guy is a pretty amazing writer. I don't know if you've ever read any of his stuff, but he's really, really good. But man, if he's going to do those documentaries, that dude should do something about his teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, he looks like he could turn a fucking head of lettuce into a salad in a single bite.
Sure.
I mean, he just looks like he has Ginsu teeth. And it's off-putting, and I hate being so shitty because Lord knows I'm a fat tub of shit.
Right.
And Lord knows you can look at me and say, look at that fat fuck calling somebody else fucking weird looking. But I'm telling you, I watch it, and the guy has great knowledge and super information, and I can't stop looking at his fucking teeth.
I think that other journalist, Mick Wall.
Oh yeah,
he's got fucked up teeth too, but that's kind of a British thing, though. They've all been known to have just bad teeth.
Why? They're civilized, don't they have dentistry?
They do, but I think obviously it's something in the gene pool.
Yeah, but you would think dentists would be like billionaires over there.
You would think.
You would think that those guys would be making a ton of money because people don't want to fucking, I don't know, accidentally cut their lip just from speaking.
Listen here, woodchuck mouth.
Dude, this guy looks like a shark that got hit with a blender. I mean, it's just like teeth going every which fucking direction.
Right.
And it's like, and again, I'm not trying to shit on him. I think he's a really fabulous journalist.
Yeah, but it's just distracting.
It's very distracting, and he's in a lot of these things. It'd be one thing if he did one. Like if he did one and he got interviewed, okay, well, he's the guy.
Yeah.
But he's in like 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, don't you got to get your teeth fixed because you're doing like bunches of documentaries because
Sure.
you're on TV?
Right.
But I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess when you're getting paid $40 a fucking hit, you probably don't, you probably don't spend that money to get your teeth fixed.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break here. I'm going to play another song for AC/DC tribute.
Right. Okay.
Something from Paul Shortino.
All right.
Formerly of Rough Cut and Quiet Riot, and he does the Rock Vault out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And Paul Shortino, just a good guy in general. Of course, he's known as Duke fame in the Spinal Tap movie.
Yes.
And anyway, he does a cover of AC/DC's "Let There Be Rock."
All right.
So for Malcolm Young, who left us today, this is a tribute to him. So here it is. It's "Let There Be Rock," Paul Shortino, exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Hey, what do you say? It's Paul Shortino from Rough Cut. You're listening to the Classic Metal Show.